Okay, I have 11 o'clock. I will call the Harrison County Commission meeting to order for Wednesday, March 27th, 2024. If you would rise and join us in the Lord's Prayer and pledge, please. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. For is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Is there anyone signed up to speak publicly?
There is not.
Okay. Anyone on Zoom wish to speak publicly? Anyone on Zoom wish to speak publicly? Hearing none, we will move to number 2, the consent agenda. Commissioner Treecost, are you on Zoom?
Yes, Madam President.
Okay, just want to make sure. Number 2, consent agenda. What's the pleasure? Motion to approve consent agenda. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Number 3, payroll change notices A through C. What's the pleasure?
Move to approve with, is the effective dates the 20th or is it gonna be the 25th?
So on B, the effective date will be 3/25.
3/25. Move to approve payroll change notices A, B, and C, with B being effective date of 3/25/2024.
Okay, motion to approve number 3, A through C with the exception of, well, with the change of B to be effective 3/25/24, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Number 4, minutes and or amended minutes of previous meetings, A and B. What's the pleasure?
Move to approve minutes A and B as presented.
Motion to move minutes A and B as presented. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Number 5, requisitions, purchase orders, invoices. A, Greater Harrison PSD ARPA funds. Requisition included in payables. B, vendor list of payments. What's the pleasure?
Move to approve requisitions, A, Greater Harrison County PSD ARPA funds, and B, vendor list of payments.
Okay. Motion to approve requisitions, purchase orders, invoices A and B. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Number 6, exoneration corrective tickets, joint property applications. It appears that we just have exonerations. A.
Move to approve exonerations, item A.
Motion to approve exonerations under A. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? None, motion carried. Review, discuss, consider a resolution authorizing the filing of the application from Harrison County to the Department of Homeland Security for state and local cybersecurity grant.
Good morning. It is,
Sitting way in the back's not gonna get you out of coming up and talking, so.
I'm in the amen section.
I know, but it's still not gonna get you out of coming up and.
Okay. I'm asking the commission to approve a resolution authorizing me to submit an application for the Homeland Security Cybersecurity Grant. It's to upgrade our WatchGuard protection and our firewall for 911 and the facilities here. And it comes with a 3-year license, so it'll be good for 3 years with no extra cost involved at that time, during that time.
And it's a 10% match, right?
It could be up to 25.
Oh, okay.
I don't know until they review the application and go over all the information as to what, but it could be no match.
How much is it?
It's 91,000. 91,880.
Okay, motion to approve a resolution authorizing an application by Harrison County to the Department of Homeland Security for state and local cybersecurity grant and for president to affix her signature and all other officials that need to.
Okay, motion to authorize the application from Harrison County Department of Homeland Security for the state and local cybersecurity grant and to affix the necessary signatures. Correct?
This-
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Thank you, Gina. Okay, we have 11:05, public hearing, second reading of the ordinance prohibiting motorized vehicles from being operated on rails to trails located in Harrison County, West Virginia. So I will open up the public hearing for that purpose. Is there anyone here to speak for or against? Anyone on Zoom to speak for or against? Nothing further. I will close the public hearing. Is that all the necessary
Yes.
action that needs to be taken? Okay. Thank you. Number 9, review, discuss, consider awarding bid for demolition of 2 buildings, Exhibit A, contact contractors and price.
Number 8.
Number 8, excuse me, thank you. But I read number 8.
You read number 8, so I was good. I was like, I didn't catch it.
Madam
Anybody-
President, we put out a bid to demolish 2 buildings. One being 6124 Shinston Pike, the other being 100 Factory Street in Clarksburg. With that, we received 7 bids from different contractors. It would be our recommendation to accept the bid for EnviroClean for $27,247. They were the lowest bid.
And they met all the criteria of the bid.
Everything is.
The only question I have, did the bid go out that it was to bid these separately or together? Because I see we have bids both ways. And looking at that, and the only reason I ask is because I can get one house tore down cheaper one way and with one company and another one with another company cheaper.
Yeah, I don't have the RFP with me, but our typical practice is to try to bulk bid them out. So I would presume that went out as a 2 tear down property. Is Charlotte here?
It did. It went out as 2, as together.
Okay, because I was surprised that we had different ways that it was bid. Not only a couple of them that lump sum. My only question.
So what's the pleasure on number 8?
Staff's recommendation is reclaim environment. Then you've had a chance to go over all their paperwork.
Yes, sir. Yes, we did go over all of it.
Motion to approve EnviroClean.
Motion to approve EnviroClean for the demolition of the 2 structure, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Thank you, Charlotte. At 11:10, we have a funding request, Clarksburg History Museum, Marcia Villionka and Mike Spatafor.
Good morning.
Good morning.
As you know, we're asking for $8,000 to put up 16 more historical markers around town. I'm sure you probably noticed some of them. We've already got 16 up, the city of Clarksburg paid for. We are also asking for a couple $1,000s to market them. And then also, I am the AmeriCorps worker and it's a 2-year term, which that term is up in October. And we have grown to the point where we absolutely need an employee. The city of Clarksburg has funded the first year for this next term, and we're asking that you all fund the other half. We also do fundraising, but we do not make enough money with what we do there to ever be, well, I can't say ever, but at this point in time to pay for an employee. We do an awfully lot of things in this city, in the county. Last week, we just had a authors forum that not usually is well attended. And we had over 40 people with that. So our events are becoming more and more visible. People are coming to them. We have more and more visitors coming to the museum. We just lack money. I mean, I'm sure that's heard all the time, but we do things to make money. They just don't make a lot of money. We are lucky that we're in the Harrison County Board of Education where our rent is $100. We have over 2,000 square feet. So, you know, I think we're doing the right things and we're going in the right direction. We just need money.
And we started bus tours. Last year, we had the Civil War bus tour that was running last summer and last fall. And this year, we're having 3 different bus tours. The Civil War bus tour will continue. We're also having the historical markers tours, which we're asking money for additional historical markers that you've probably seen around the city.
And we've also incorporated in the CCC Museum out in Quietdale and the Heritage Craft in that tour.
And then we also have, we're starting a historical cemetery tour. That's starting up in our spring schedule and our fall schedule this year also. And then we're also in the works with national bus tour companies. So we're hopefully either at the end of this year or next year, we're planning a 4-county 3-day tour that will bring tourists and visitors into Clarksburg and Harrison County.
They will stay at the Hilton Garden Inn. We've already made the arrangements with that. The tour consists of Clarksburg, Philippi, Elkins, and Jane Lou and Weston. And they're all on board and it's all organized. I've sent it out to the bus companies. I'm now just waiting back to hear from them.
So a lot of our expenses, you know, is just marketing ourselves and letting people know that we do have these bus tours. We had over 2,000 visitors at the museum last year. And we're looking to increase that number this year. So we feel that the museum, and in conjunction with the Harrison County Historical Society, we work with them, the Bice Ferguson Museum in Shinston, Lost Creek Depot, the CVBs, Clarksburg CVB, Bridgeport CVB. We're trying to incorporate everyone into what we're doing. And as we move forward, I mean, we'll probably be coming and you'll probably be seeing a lot of us trying to incorporate. We really want to make history a hot spot here in Harrison County. There are 34 million Civil War buffs around the country. We want to market that and bring those people to Clarksburg and Harrison County. It helps not only our city and our county, but it helps our businesses, our restaurants, our hotels. And so we hope this is really just a beginning of something greater.
Yeah. We have connections with a lot of different places in the South that are big on Civil War type stuff, and Stonewall Jackson was born here. And, you know, we're working on possibly a rather large convention coming possibly next year in January.
we're in the, development stages. We've also got the Stonewall Brigade that is coming, that is really not Stonewall Jackson's family, but it's the George Jackson family. And they went to Weston this year instead of to Clarksburg. So, but we're doing a tour for them. So I've sort of got them convinced that every 4 years they come to Clarksburg and that the next time they will do their convention here instead of in Weston. So, we're getting into those little avenues where people are starting to realize, hey, they do have stuff here. And, we're just at the beginning stages of developing programs on our websites and things to get more people coming into Clarksburg.
There's a lot of history here in Clarksburg and Harrison County. I mean, we're learning all the time of new people, new places, new events. And we feel that we can really be a hotspot for tourism, not only in West Virginia, but around the country. We've had people from Japan come specifically to look at certain exhibits that we have. For example, like on Gray Barker, who did a lot with UFOs and aliens. So it's things that we don't even think about. The lady from Japan came to do research on Gray Barker, and I said, you know about the Flatwoods Monster? And she said, everyone in Japan knows about the Flatwoods Monster. I'm like, how? She said, it's in their school books. All the kids in Japan learn about the Flatwoods Monster. So, there's a lot that we can build on, and it not only locally and statewide, but nationally and internationally.
Are there grants to help? Have you applied for any type of grant funding?
We have in
From
the
other
county,
sources?
the county commission, I know, helped us with grant writing last year, a couple of years ago. We didn't get it, but I mean, it was,
Are you out there hunting for any, looking?
We,
I'm constantly looking.
and
I
we
mean,
do local
Yeah, we do
grants.
we get all of the local grants. I mean, the cultural center, we get, I got a $1,500 grant from them. We're going to develop a hands-on children's section in the library, in the Board of Education. That's coming up next.
Speaking of the Board of Education, have you, other than that you get you're in the building, would they be willing to do anything else?
We haven't really
We-
approached. them
yeah.
Because.
I mean, they charge us $100 a
I
month rent for
understand,
2,000 square feet.
Understand?
I didn't, we're sort of happy with that.
Okay, I just had to.
But
throw
we
that-
could, I
I just had to throw that out there. Have you
No
talked to
reason
Bridgeport?
not to.
I mean, are there other, I'm just trying to look for other avenues for you. You got Clarksburg and us. We're county. And I'm not saying that I don't
Right.
support the museum.
Well, we've just got a volunteer that is a marketing master and grant writer also. So she just came on in January and we have her overwhelmed. But that's one of the things that we were going to start looking at, is to also writing grants on bigger scale basis. And I did apply for the SAMS thing, government thing, that took me almost 6 months to complete and get through. But we can now apply for national and federal and, whatever type grants.
And it's still just the Clarksburg History Museum, right?
Yes, it is. I left you a paper up there that gave you our mission statement,
Well, we're a
because-
history museum that's in Clarksburg, but I mean.
but we serve
highlight-
Harrison County.
Yeah, we highlight not only Clarksburg, but Harrison.
I'm not picking, I'm just.
Oh, no. No, it's a fair question.
Yeah, and our
We have.
the
we have
seal,
in our
the seal
logo,
is in our logo.
The Harrison County. seal. But yeah, we're basically a museum in Clarksburg, but we serve Clarksburg, Harrison County. I mean, we even do West Virginia related historic sites and people.
And the little pamphlets are what we just designed now for the next round of tours. And we do all this in-house. In fact, we blew up our printer the other day. But
How much is your operating budget here?
I mean, it varies, it varies from year to year.
depends on how much money we get. I mean, to be honest, that's what it,
Whatever
because
comes
we
in,
don't,
whatever comes in is what we.
Yes, what we
on
spend.
the-
Ask.
It's exhibits.
last year, I have it in the application, which I don't know if you have it right here. But we brought in, let's see, what did we bring in? We're working with a $30,000 to $40,000 budget. And whatever we have money to spend, that, we pick and choose what projects we take on. We try not to do anything that costs money.
If I may, I have a question. In your packet, you put that you're looking to change your name to the Clarksburg Harrison History Museum. That was going to be put in front of, I believe, your board in February.
It was. It ended up being a 3-3 tie. So it can be revisited, but that's why I brought you our mission statement to show that Harrison County is in our mission statement. It is in our, the seal of the county is in our seal.
And in the future, we'd like to incorporate other historic groups around the county. I know Laura, we've met with you before, Sherry and I from the Historical Society. Because there is a lot going on with history in Harrison County, all based on volunteer work. And, in the future, I think we're probably going to need assistance into expanding our reach to the region, the state, and the nation. Like I said, you'll probably be seeing a lot more of us.
Realistically, we had, the city of Clarksburg gave us $16,000, almost $17,000 last year. And what we actually brought in donations was a little under $2,000. Membership was $600. Our gift shop brought in $2,700. Our tours brought in $1,500. The Harry Power event brought in $1,100, which comes up to about $2,100, $21,000. So we just live on what we generate.
Okay. I know it's not what you want to hear, but I think right now the commission, we're going to table your request until we can take a look at Harrison County as a whole, because we have so many other historical venues. And I think the commission would like to make sure they all are successful. So if you guys can bear with us for a couple of weeks while we try to work out, I think it's a fair and equitable program for you all and for the rest of the venues that are in Harrison County that promote historical tours and education. Hopefully you can get by for the next couple of weeks till we get this worked out.
It's fine.
That's good.
Fine.
Yeah.
I mean, we have the first year funding for AmeriCorps for next year.
Okay.
So I'm just looking, and it's pretty much a 2-year term for whoever the person is that takes the position over.
Okay. Yeah, what you all are asking when we're looking at, and then we have other entities that have the same issue, that to give everybody a fair shake, I think the commission needs to look at the overall picture. It seems that tourism with the history is something that is going to be, what you are talking about, let's make it countywide. And I think that give us a chance to take a look at it, because we get hit individually and maybe we need to step back and look at it for a countywide program to be able to help all of you, and that you guys all work together to bring in more people to Harrison County.
Yeah,
I think that would be a great
Yeah,
thing.
because there's several counties, I researched this a while back, county commissions that do fund tourism in their counties. It's a
Yeah.
regular budget item.
Yeah.
And that's one of our main goals, is to get everyone.
Yeah.
But I can tell you, we just did our budget and we don't have a line item.
Right.
So
I know.
I can just tell you that just happened, and that was one of the things that we just did.
Didn't think about.
We never thought about, and I wish you guys would have come
2
2 or
weeks.
3 weeks ago while we were doing this, but we'll look at. I think your commissioners understand the issue, and we will do everything we can to fix it.
Okay,
Appreciate it.
thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay, 11:15, funding request, Wallace Volunteer Fire Department. Marcus Shaw. Oh, yes, we should. Of
Motion to table.
course, it's not really an item, but
Well, we were gonna give them money, so it just
yeah,
motion to table funding request.
The Clarksburg History Museum.
Yeah, West Clarksburg History.
A motion's been made to table the funding request from the Clarksburg History Museum. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carried. Now, sorry, Marcus.
It's okay. My name is Marcus Shaw. I'm the Fire Chief of Wallace Fire Department. We're requesting funds again this year to help us fund our annual homecoming days this year for the it's, I think, August 2nd and 3rd, I think is the dates on it. We got funding off you guys last year to help us put that event on. And what we did last year was we got the community children involved. We had a little fireman's rodeo for the children. You know, they had a water battle and we done some relays with them and stuff like that. And it was a real big success. So we're going to do that again this year. We used the funding that you guys provided. It helped us pay for the entertainment and some of the food and the prizes and stuff. And we would like to do that again this year. I think that we requested $3,000. That's what we got last year. So I think that's what they requested for again this year. Normally I have the president of the organization with me, but he's down and out, hurt his back. So
That's-
just me this year. So
You're doing fine.
I'm doing fine.
And then your
Um,
sister had to go and leave.
One of the things that I've never told you guys when we were up here before is how we fund some of the stuff that we do. Since I've come back to the department, when I came back to the department this year, or not this year, a few years ago, as fire chief, the department wasn't doing very good. Actually, they were lucky to even be able to pass or pay their gas bill. And we got some women together from the community that wanted to help bail the department out. And some of the departments here lately have come to me and asked, how are we able to fund that department? You know, they see us doing all these fundraisers. Some of them have seen that our group of women have been doing the concessions at the armory for these gun shows and events. And they're asking us, how do you guys get all these gigs and how are you doing all this and how are you funding all this? And when I tell them, they're like, I just can't see how you're doing this. The secret of it is, and I've told them this, and this is what surprised them. The fire department itself is not funding most of these fundraisers. My community is funding a lot of this stuff. These women that I have that go out and collect from the community to purchase most of the stuff that we sell for like the food and stuff. These women work very hard to do what they do, and they're not a large group. Most of these fire departments say may do a fundraiser, and then they have to take what they've made from that fundraiser and go out and buy supplies for the next fundraiser. That's not what my women do. My women go out to the community, and my community supports my fire department. And they'll give money to supply the next fundraiser. That's how my community treats my department. But the reason I come and ask for this money for this fair is because the way our economy is, you know, I feel as though that I need to give my women that do this for me and my community a break. You know, they give so much to my fire department. Then I need to give them a break financially. You know, they give a lot to my fire department, my community does. And I just feel as though, you know, I need to give them a rest. You know, I can't keep asking these people to do so much for me, you know. And my women also ask other businesses and stuff, you know, and they can only ask so much from these businesses. So that's why I'm here today to ask, you know, for some help, you know, and as long as you guys are gonna keep funding my department, you know, I'll be here to get the money. May not be me, it may be one of my other staff or whatever, but as long as you guys are willing to give, I'll come and ask for
I
it.
know you guys work hard. You've done a lot in a little bit of time, that's for sure.
I don't work near as hard as
Oh, I
those
know,
women
I've seen.
work for me. They work harder than some of my men do. I mean, one of them's my mother. She's always right there.
She's always at it.
You know, these women do so much for my department. I mean, that's all I got, you know.
Thanks, Marcus.
Thank you. And with that, make a motion to fund the Wallace request in the amount of $3,000.
Okay, motion's been made to fund the request at $3,000. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? None, motion carried. Now, number 9, again, review, except it's this wording, review, discuss, consider adding 2 more individuals to the opioid committee, that being Jason Nicholson and Rachel Romano. It's a pleasure.
Would you like any introduction as far as Jason goes?
No,
Okay. Move to approve the addition of Jason Nicholson and Rachel Romano to the opioid committee.
okay, the motion's been made to appoint Jason Nicholson and Rachel Romano to the opioid committee. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Number 10, review, discuss, consider GSA update. Do we have anything?
We don't, Trey and I are getting together at the end of the week to figure out the update to give to the commission. I don't have anything for this week.
And we have nothing under number 11.
That is correct.
Number 12, review, discuss, consider orders and election orders as presented by the clerk. Exhibit A, election officials and alternates appointed by the Republican and Democrat executive committees. Exhibit B, 2024 primary election, early voting workers, general services building, and mall. It's a pleasure.
Move to approve exhibit A and exhibit B.
Motion to approve number 12, exhibit A and exhibit B. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? None, motion carried. 13, review, discuss, consider budget revision, prosecuting attorney from 405-230 contracted services to 405-223 professional services.
Madam President, this is just the prosecutor asking to move money within her line items of her already approved budget for fiscal year 23-24.
It's a pleasure.
Move to approve budget revision for the prosecuting attorney from 405-230 to 405-223.
Okay, motion's been made to approve the budget revision for the prosecuting attorney from 405-230 to 405-223. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? None, motion carried. Number 14, administrators report.
I just have that last week we approved the next fiscal year budget that has been sent to the state auditor's office. And just to remind everyone that we will be closed this Friday on 3/29 for the Easter holiday weekend. The courts will remain open in the courthouse on Friday.
Commissioner Hinkle. Number 15, Mr. Collins.
I guess I can't say enough about, look, Wallace came in here today and explained how their community supports them. I think the big thing that the people of Harrison County have to realize that do not live in the city limits, that they rely on volunteer fire departments. And communities and the people that live in those areas always supported the volunteers first over everything else, but it seems the volunteer fire departments are taking a back seat when it comes to helping them fund their equipment, their training. And it's becoming an issue that your commissioners are having to take a hard look at to figure out how to fund. It's part of our budget every year. It keeps growing, and it's something that I personally, I hate to admit my age, but I was in a volunteer fire department, and we always had ways to raise money. And it seems that that's just an issue now, that everybody wants to raise money for other things, but they forget about that one thing that could save their life or their loved ones, and that's a volunteer fire department. And I appreciate everybody that belongs to a volunteer fire department. And I can't say enough about what they do for the citizens that they support. That's all.
It's not only funding, it's help. That's a big issue.
Yep.
Especially during the daytime hours. I have nothing else.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? None. Motion carries.
Thank you, Susan.